Hello and welcome in. My name is DrumRollTony. I'm a streamer on Twitch, musician, and music teacher living in Seattle. We haven't done beatbox on the channel in a while, so we got to do it. Helium 2023 GBB solo wildcard, the second round. I'm excited. Let's go. I love the bum, bum, bum. Big flat 5 tritone there. Dude, this is so wild. Beatboxing is fascinating. Like, all these sounds, all these rhythms. I say similar things every time because it's similar emotions every time. I really dig this build here with a super tight hi-hat that's going on. It feels like the pedal is like really being pushed down. But I dig the little 3/4 ascending groove within the middle of this. That was super nice. That is interesting. The way it's interesting to watch the cheek and how aggressive this whole setting. I like this because it feels like super intimate. The camera's close. You can really see technique stuff going on here. I don't know how to identify it, but it looks badass. It's interesting to watch where the cheek and jaw goes when these sounds are being made. It's cool because that hi-hat, that is so spacious, and then you get in the low end. So we really set that groove, that ostinato, that repeated rhythm down there. And then when the drum and bass stuff comes in, it's wide open, right? It's really tangible because the groove inside of that is just so simple, right? But then all those notes come in. That is just wild. I love that. That is great use of dynamics and cool. Whatever this space, asteroid flying by sound is, I dig it with the mic manipulation and placement of sound. It really opens things up because you had all the space in the beginning. You get this super intricate drum and bass grooves going on, and then the build happens, and you go. I didn't know if we're going to stay in 3 or we're going to come back, but we do come back, and you get your obligatory drop. But there's so much musicianship and cool little skill sets going in that it just makes it different. I feel, at least to me, and it's really enjoyable to listen to. I really do want the 3/4 section again. And that part's really interesting to me because of all the in and out breathing sounds. I might be wrong on that, but that's just the way it feels. Because when you're going boom, and we're ascending, then to suddenly have to go back to a 2 and 4 based groove there with sounds going in and out. It's a really clever way, I feel at least, to just to round that out, just to top it out, and then you get the weird asteroid sound. It's almost dude, kudos, man. It's really great, just music writing, rhythm and sound, what's the word? Textures, man, sound textures. The way things are being painted there, it's really good. Yeah, that's psycho in a great way, though. That is completely psycho because you keep the and then the whatever's going on there, but there's stuff going on with the nose breathing too, and you get a different variance of sounds with some other air-related percussion articulations, and there's just so much happening. Oh, you know what? Hold on, that's 46. Let me just check something out real quick. What does that sound like if we do this? Yeah, man, that's cool because especially if you're going to transcribe something, you want to take it down there. It's still impressive even at 75% speed because it's pretty a novice, not even a novice, a completely ignorant, not beatboxing person at all. There's still so many sounds happening there. Like, I appreciate rhythm, obviously. I appreciate music. But when this is like different, like drumming something like this is very, very simple in comparison to the demand because you're just manipulating drumsticks and surfaces. It's not just like, it's difficult in a different way. You have to learn techniques and how to like, there's a lot of ergonomic stuff you have to develop, but there's no like embouchure on, well, minus a mouthpiece, but there's no lip control. There's no throat stuff happening. There's no airway requirements. There's no like nasal versus mouth stuff happening. So it's fascinating because I think a lot of people might listen to it and be like, oh yeah, rhythm, but it's like so much more, obviously, like because the musical demand is ridiculous in a great way though, like on the musician, because you have to develop so many techniques. But that's, you know what? I say that's every instrument. That's how every instrument in the world functions. You have to learn, what the culture of the instrument is. And then there's always a skill set that you never know about until you see someone that's just amazing at it. And you're like, oh, great, cool. There's 8 million things to learn. But I feel like, I don't know. I think we've done Helium once on a previous video, and I remember his articulations as being so aggressive, and I imagine it's going to continue to go on in this video, but I definitely dig how just percussive heavy it is. Anyway, let's keep going. Yeah, your guys' volume is cool. It's safe volume. Mine is cranked. That's so loud. That whistle tone. It's cool though, because I guess the first thing that comes to mind for me is like everything we just talked about, all these rhythms happening, all the musician stuff that's required to go on in the face and the throat and the airways. Then how do you produce that whistle tone at the same time while not losing any like quality of sound on the other parts there? That's pretty weird. Weird in a great way. Yeah, just wild stuff, man. When it's so foreign, I'm like, okay. When you do that sound, is that an outward air intake? You going this way or are you going this way? Because I just, by looking at it, I can't tell at all. The fact that the beat that came back. That's cool. Yeah, so we got to talk about, I don't know, spit snares. Is that what they're called here? Whatever the snare work is, we're getting like the two variants on the timbre, meaning the way they're sounding. And it feels like someone's like mixing, like a DJ like spinning, but then like the rotation speed changes because we get the phrase, but then it feels like this phrase has a higher like, just the timbre feels higher, so it's really cool. I lost track of where that happened because that was pretty captivating. I'm gonna go back a pretty significant chunk here. Yeah, right there. Like that's a trip, man, because musically the rhythmic grouping feels similar, but not, because of how much the timbre of the snare drum and the way everything's being used changes. Even like the throat articulations feel different as well. That's something, man. Keep going. It's so aggressive.
Go drum and bass.
Okay. That is fascinating, man. Beatbox is so fascinating. Whoa. All that stuff we taught, like I was geeking out about the okay. All the snare stuff that was happening earlier. Now we just got like the same variants and like variations, but within the kick drum sounds, but the patterns and groupings are very aggressive. They're very fast. All that stuff that's going on. But dude, that's so easy to drum in comparison to making those sounds. What is going on, man? I don't even know how to like, I just gotta go back. I couldn't even stop. Normally, it's funny. Like usually when I listen to stuff, I'm stopping all the time. I was just talking about this on Patreon last night, actually. I know my listening style is not for everybody, but I think layered listening with often a lot of stops, it's pretty healthy for your ears, because when you finally do the front to back listens, you're very enriched in what you're listening down to. It's a really great way to develop like ingredients for like audio properties that are going on within the song and the artist and what's going on. This is why when it's something like this though, it's like, Jesus Lord, man, like fuck, there's so many things happening. And yeah, I just need some of this again real quick. Sorry. So loud. Is that where we breathe? Is there any inward breathing during all that? Or is that the breath location? Because damn, dude, the manipulation of sound and air speeds here, it's like stupidly good. Man, I'm sorry to do it to you. I just need it again. There's too many things happening. There's so much to try to comprehend. I love the decorations. This is so decorative though. I didn't catch the slight differences on that pattern the first time. It's so interesting. I'm such a visual person for like, normally when, I'm watching an instrumentalist play, there's, either drumsticks or keys or, a slide happening. There's so many like, or fingers on a piano. There's so many visual components to what's going on, but vocalists are so different. Even though like I'm trying to like stare, like this might sound weird. I'm like trying to stare at his embouchure here to try to figure out, you get like little cues here with what's going on with the hand, but it's such a complicated process because you're trying to identify rhythms and sound at the same time, but sounds that are not normal to the ear because it's such a wild west of exploratory use of the body. Like, I don't know, when it gets like this, it throws my brain for a loop, and all I can just really do is appreciate it as a stranger, even though I love to do nothing more than to break stuff down. But right now, I guess the part the most I can take away from this is the, like, I guess you can call them like related rhythms here and related patterns, but the manipulation that he's putting on the way like the kick drum is sounding within these, and it still feels like the snare changes within the all those groupings, and it sounds so damn good, but it's also so complicated because it's so freaking fast,
Go drum and bass.
Yeah, I love the fact that bum bum is still present. So now the plosives, like the P sounds with the bass drum, the kicks here, those are so involved compared to this. Like it feels like the same pattern and like style within the pattern, but now the bass drum stuff is so present, and it gets like ultra aggressive, right? Like this part where I'm like, Jesus, dude, like this dude is like staring into my soul as this is being played here, and it's like really aggressive. Where does the breath happen? Where is air happening in that phrase? That phrase is forever, man. And the other thing that, like, I mean, when I'm like conducting a band, I'm teaching the kids like a high school, like, concert band, like I have a much better understanding of like where kids need to breathe and like what's realistic and how we stagger breathing like this. This is so like Wild West to me. Like I'm just, how, where, what is happening? Little revisit. This one was harder for me because I feel like I had a much harder time trying to understand because the variants and like little cycles, they're so intricate with their differences, yet so musical. I feel like this dude has got to be since I feel like the other video we did on him, this type of cycling, that pattern was kind of present in the other one as well. So I imagine he's kind of like got that unlocked. Like that's got to be, he's got to be one of the pioneers for making that so accessible within a beatbox sound. And when I say accessible, not really, right? Because I'm so foreign to it. I had a harder time in this one though, because I feel way more musically stupid because I'm like looking at it going, dude, there's so many things. I think turning the speed down is effective though. It'd be one of those where I'd have to like sit down and just notate out the rhythms and be like, give it to somebody like, hey, tell me, you write in all the articulation names. And then also tell me when breath work happens. When do the lungs get air? Because that's fascinating. So anyway, yeah, sorry. I don't feel like I was very effective on that one because this one was like kind of so mind blowing, but really entertaining to watch. This was a lot of fun for me. And yeah, let me know what else we should be looking at. My name is DrumRollTony. Catch me on live on Twitch. Link for all the socials down in the video description below. Please and thank you. Click the like button, subscribe to the channel so you can catch the next one. YouTube thinks you want to watch this video next. I appreciate you being here. Have a great day. Take it easy. Bye-bye.